Greetings, mortals, and welcome to this PSA about one tricks and strategies for competitive systems.
So, I'm going to talk a bit about trolling and uncooperative gameplay and competitive matchmaking for a second. So, in competitive matchmaking, there's most games have a system in place to punish players who are reported as having deliberately lost the game or something along those lines, to have deliberately interfered with their team's ability to succeed. Most games have a way of reporting players for that kind of behavior. Okay, Dota has it, Overwatch has it. I'm sure most games have some sort of system in place if they have a competitive matchmaking system. Now, Overwatch has just expanded the definition of uncooperative play to include one tricks. So, what a one trick is someone who, out of the 26 heroes that are in the game, they exclusively play one. They will not play any other characters. Okay? They play the one character, that's it. They pick that character and they play it every time they get into the game. That is not uncompetitive play. Uncompetitive play is by definition a one-off event. So here's an example. Let's say that you are the type of player who consistently goes completely out of position and consistently feeds and gets killed over and over and over again every match that you play. Your skill level, your skill ranking in the system is going to go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until you're placed where you belong based off of the way that you're playing, right? It's going to be low. Eventually, you'll reach a point where you're playing with exclusively other people who are playing as badly as you are playing. Okay? That's how matchmaking works. That's how competitive ranking works, is that you're matched with people who are as successful as you. Playing a one trick, so whereas if you are feeding deliberately, if you're saying, I'm going to play worse this game, I am going to deliberately not help my team win the game in this particular game, right? You're choosing in this game to change what you are doing to throw. That's a one-off thing. That doesn't affect your MMR much. That has a very minor effect on your MMR, and that's why you need the ability to report it. One tricking is not a one-off event. One tricking is a strategy, and it's a strategy that has merit. Despite what, a lot of the people who make channels would pretend, one tricking is extremely viable because it's such a skill dependent game. Okay, well, I don't remember if I specified I was talking about Overwatch. It doesn't matter, it's short enough of a video. I'm talking about Overwatch here. So one tricking is something that is a strategy. Is a strategy that you have that you are using in every game consistently. And if it's bad, if it's a bad strategy, then your MMR will drop. And if it's a good strategy, then your MMR will increase. Your skill rating will increase if you are successful and drop if you are not successful. That's what skill ratings mean. By introducing this system where they're saying, you know what, if you one trick and you're not willing to cooperate with your team who is trying to force you to play something other than the character that you have gotten to this MMR with, then we're just going to not let you play the game. They're effectively saying our competitive matchmaking system does not work, and we don't care. We're fine with that as long as people stop bitching. All we want is for people to not be complaining. The person who is doing the one tricking is not responsible for where Blizzard puts them in the MMR. It is not their fault. They either deserve to be there or they don't, and we have no way of knowing until the matchmaking system is fixed. And if you think that the matchmaking system works, then guess what? You think that the one trick who's there is exactly as good as you are with your multi hero pool. It's just that simple. Okay? No matter whether that person belongs there or not, they are choosing a specific strategy that it's not their responsibility to decide whether it works or not. And it's not Blizzard's job to just arbitrarily start banning people because they've chosen a strategy that upsets people. Okay? When I was playing Dota, I played a lot of Broodmother. I like Broodmother. She's a lot of fun to play, and I didn't have any interest in playing enough Dota to learn a diverse cast of heroes. Okay? I started playing it when I was an old man. Old men learn slow, and I am very Fey like. I do not do one thing a lot. So I just played Broodmother exclusively, and I got to about 4K MMR. That's about the 90th percentile. Okay, and I got there from about 3K. Okay, my starting MMR was about 3K when I started seriously trying to raise it. So, so anyway, so I was increasing my MMR, and what I found as I increased in skill level was that I eventually reached a point where I could not keep increasing my skill level. I could not increase past a certain point with Broodmother alone. I reached about 4K MMR. That was about as far as I could possibly get. There was no way that I was going to play Broodmother well enough that I could surpass that boundary. If I had a more diverse hero pool, right, or if I was playing a hero that was less counterable, then I would potentially be able to get a little bit higher, right? And if I got a good enough at a few select key characters that would allow me to maximally be effective in all games that I played in, I would be able to raise my MMR more. Okay? That's a working MMR system. That's how MMR is supposed to work. Is that you have a skill level, you have a strategy, you have everything that goes into the way that you play. And when you play the way that you play, you find that if you get below a certain point, you naturally have a greater than 50% win rate, and you just naturally start increasing in MMR. And as soon as you if you're above a certain point, then as you play, you naturally degrade. And you'll find that over hundreds of games, you're pretty much in the same spot until you start improving something, until you do better. You have to change how good you are at the game in some way to change your competitive ranking. That's not how Overwatch works. Overwatch MMR is just completely fucking random, okay? You can get too much MMR too quickly, and you can lose too much MMR too quickly, and the way that it handles it is based off of just insane, obviously mathematically stupid ways of handling a system that you actually intend to be competitive. And that's why if you look at the way that people play in Bronze, it's not meaningfully different than the way people play in Platinum. It's because there's really no difference. They all play pretty much the same way. They're all just fucking around. Okay? And that's obviously a problem for a competitive matchmaking system. So, anyway, the basic gist is one tricks are not a problem. One tricks have a specific strategy that they're utilizing that has a given amount of effectiveness. And in a competitive game, that one trick is going to be as effective as they are doing that one trick thing. And their MMR should, or excuse me, their SR or whatever, their SR should reflect that. And if you don't like the way that they play, then petition Blizzard to get SR fixed, because unless you think that they're as good as you, in which case, shut up. If you think that this person is as successful as you and is playing in a way that makes you unhappy because you don't want to have to play around them, even though the entire point of the way that you play is that you are more versatile than them, then you're not complaining for any reason. There's no reason to be complaining at the one trick because they're playing with a strategy that has exactly the same amount of success as your strategy. Complain about either the fact that their strategy is successful despite not being a successful way of winning the game, right? Or accept the fact that they're doing just as well as you, so you're fine. I find it very odd, and every time I play a game of Dota, everyone is complaining about everyone else in the game being terrible at the game. And in my experience playing Dota, everyone who I play with is, broadly speaking, similar in skill level. I don't see a huge amount of mismatches when I'm playing Dota. When you play at the 4K MMR bracket, at the 90th percentile, it's reasonably consistent. And you have stomps. I mean, it's not like you don't have stomps, but those stomps are more related to like the specifics of the matchup. It's not related to like just generically, oh, all of these people happen to be bad. In Overwatch, that's not how it goes. In Overwatch, you'll have two teams that are ostensibly the same MMR, but they'll be completely different. You'll have a mirror match where everyone's playing the same fucking heroes, and one side is just getting beaten into the ground. Okay, like the Overwatch matchmaking is not working at all. It's just not. There's nothing effective about the way that it's handled. And once they fix that, when they fix the matchmaking, that fixes the one trick problem, because the one tricks will be able to be one tricks up to the skill level that they can successfully be one tricks at. It's that simple, because they will be winning or losing, and it's all that simple. So anyway, that's it for this video. It's kind of a ranty video, but people have a tendency to just talk shit about people and just be toxic for no damn reason. Okay? The problem is the system. Okay? And if the system isn't the problem, then the problem is you. If you think that SR is working, then that person deserves to play to win just like you deserve to play to win. They're just as successful as you. So shut up. They're doing the thing that is making them win, exactly as much as your strategy is making you win. So complain to Blizzard about Blizzard's matchmaking, or suck it up. Because people are telling like people who are one tricks, oh well, they want to just play the game the way that they want to play it and not have to, bow to the whims of their party or whatever. And it's like, well, that's what you're asking. That's what you're wanting to not do. You want to not play around one tricks. You don't want to have to play with one tricks. Okay? If their strategy was unsuccessful, then they shouldn't be playing with you. That's it. Later, folks.